I can still remember the day I brought Microcosm home. I had just convinced my parents that the Sega CD was an essential education tool, something about interactive multimedia and expanding my horizons. The truth, I just wanted to see what video games looked like when played in full motion video. I'd read about it in magazines and seen the grainy screenshots. So when I finally slid that disc into the tray of my top-loading Sega CD, I was ready for a movie. What I got was something else entirely. Something weird and beautiful, but still pretty flawed. And in this video, we're going to find out whether it still holds up. The game opens with an incredible cutscene. Even today, I don't skip it. This was the grainy, foggy vision of a futuristic city right out of Blade Runner. I saw the helicopter, the skyscrapers, the soldiers with the mech suit. The video quality is pretty low res, sure, but it has a film noir comic book fuzziness that works. You see the president of Cybertech getting injected with a virus by the rival corporation, Axiom. Your job as the pilot of a miniaturized ship is to fly through his veins, blast the viruses, and destroy the brain entity called Grey M. The plot isn't exactly original, it's Fantastic Voyage with a corporate dystopian twist. But for 1993, it was kinda cool to think about. What I didn't know then was that amazing intro setting me up for a very simple game. Here's what you need to know about playing Microcosm. You move a sprite-based ship, around the screen. Your goal is to shoot everything. Enemies, natural body waste, weird projectiles, it all has to die. You have unlimited ammo, thank goodness. And the little power-up icons will fly at you. You catch them and get double shots, three-way shots, or a smart bomb. The possible choices mix things up, but the core gameplay is still largely the same. These upgrades are vital for survival, but they're mostly just variations of a single shot. And yeah, the game is a rail shooter, meaning you don't control where you go. The background video scrolls and you just aim and fire. That's step 1. Step 2 is where it gets interesting, or frustrating. The challenge never lets up. You're flying through the cephalic vein, then the heart, then the brain, and enemies come from every direction. Some are tiny virus cells, others are massive, imaginative beasts. The things that I actually dislike about the game are, first, that your hitbox feels a little too big. Second, some enemy attacks blend into the busy pre-rendered backgrounds, making them nearly impossible to see. And third, it's just a little bit too trial and error. You die, you memorize the pattern, and try again. But let's talk about how it looks, because that's why we're all here. Psygnosis used Silicon Graphics workstations to render the graphics for this game, and on the Sega CD, it shows, or it tries to. The background graphics meant to simulate the walls, veins, and arteries. They're colorful, detailed, and honestly, they're pretty impressive. You really feel like you're flying through the wet, organic tunnels of a human being. The enemy design is the real star. We're not talking about spaceships here. We're talking about animated atrocities, spiky blood cells, mechanical parasites, and bosses that are huge, pulsing nightmares. The detail and animation of each boss is really amazing for the Sega CD. The trade-off is that your own ship is a simple sprite, and it can feel a little bit pasted on top of the video. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's not seamless. Still, from a pure visual standpoint, Microcosm is just one of those titles I could just watch again and again. And the audio is a whole nother level. The standard Sega CD soundtrack is a moody techno masterpiece. It fits the game perfectly. It's haunting during the cutscenes and upbeat during the action. However, this game also has a secret. If you put the Microcosm game disc into a standard audio CD player, you can listen to an entirely different soundtrack. It's reportedly music from a completely different game. It was a factory error. So don't just take my word for it. The music is a major reason to play, and I have 2 samples for you to hear for yourself. So where does that leave me, a fan of weird 90s games? As a full-motion video game, Microcosm does the genre proud. It's not a shallow interactive movie. The top reason I love playing this is simply to see the animated atrocities that attack me. It's creative, it's surreal, unlike anything else. Now, that said, it's not for everyone. Every single level follows the same crosshair-moving, shoot-'em-up formula. It's one-dimensional. And if you hate repetitive gameplay, this will bore you in 20 minutes. But for me, the good outweighs the bad because it's an experience and a time capsule. And here's what others thought at the time. It's a split decision. Magazines like Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it just a 5.4 out of 10, calling the gameplay repetitious and boring. Amiga Format praised the graphics, but admitted the gameplay was just average, and you know what? They weren't wrong. But for a lot of us, the anticipation was part of the fun, and decades later, I finally played through it again in emulation. After all of those years of waiting, I was still highly entertained, and I think I finally understand why. So if you've never played this, do yourself a favor. Don't go in expecting a tight, balanced shooter like Space Harrier. Go in expecting a moody and artistic and somewhat flawed experiment. It's a game that cares more about the world it's showing you than the challenge it's giving you. It might be a game that works better as a memory than a modern replay. It was a fantastic voyage right into the weird part of the 90s that most people have long forgotten. Alright my friends, this is the Retro Gaming Boss signing out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.